Thank you so much for coming by. I'm bringing you another Battlefield Hardline video. In this video, what I'm actually going to cover with you is I'm going to do the review, the test and review of the there it is, SA58 OSW. Now, Steve McQueen actually asked me to do this review, so make sure you guys check out Steve McQueen's channel. I will put a link down in the description. Thank you so much, Steve McQueen, for this request. If anybody else has a request, make sure you guys hit me up in the comment section below. I will go ahead and test the gun, and then I will go ahead and give you guys what I think about it, how you might want to use it, things like that. So that's what I'm going to do with the SA58 OSW. Now, right now we're playing on Team Deathmatch, and this is actually, let me actually switch to that gun. This is Chinatown. So right now I'm thinking muzzle brake, laser sight, angle grip, and Cobra. We're going to try that out, and if that doesn't work out, we'll try something else. Now, I have used this gun a little bit. As you can see, I've got about 100 kills with it. Alright, it is not my favorite battle rifle. Those are going to be my first initial thoughts with you guys. It's a good gun, you know, I don't mind it, but the biggest thing with it is I feel like the cycle rate is a little high for a battle rifle. Now, which isn't necessarily bad. It's good for if you're using it in like a closer quarters or something like that, but it seems like it had a little bit of difficulty keeping that accuracy for the longer ranges. Now, it may be me, maybe if you put, you know, it on single fire, maybe it's a machine, something like that. But what I found for me is that it really shines in these closer quarters. As you can see there, I just tore those two guys up there. Now, when you get the little bit of a longer range, granted, putting a heavy barrel on will help with a longer range accuracy. Putting an angle grip on and, you know, doing some tap firing or burst firing is definitely going to help with that. So let me try this on that. I've got an angle grip on it now, so we don't have to mess with that. Let's go ahead and put the heavy barrel on. I'm going to keep the Cobra red dot sight on it. Just for now. I will show you guys what I think about the other sights putting on it. I have noticed a lot of people will run a 3.5 times sight on some battle rifles. Now, for me, I've been much of a Cobra sight person because I like to run around, and I typically run into enemies at, you know, a closer distance than at a longer distance. But it is nice to have both. Ooh, nice double there. Both ranges. So this map, there we go. See, this heavy barrel is working actually quite well. It looks like there's some guy up there. Oh, that Molotov. Alright, let's keep going here. Let's see what we can do. So, I have noticed this gun isn't bad. I won't say it's bad. It's got a cycle rate, or rate of fire of 650. It seems like it has a pretty standard damage rate. I mean, as far as your battle rifles go, they all have the same damage, as you can see there. Okay, the biggest difference is going to be your rate of fire, also your accuracy, things like that. But with this SA58, I've got that heavy barrel on it. I've got that angle grip. So let's see if we can do a little bit more with it. Now, after this death, I will go ahead and put that 3.4 times sight on it, just to kind of show you why I'm not a big fan of actually using a 3.4 times sight. Now, it actually figures into a lot of the way that I use my battle rifles. Like I said, I like to come into like a closer, you know, range, but it also has to do with the fact that, oh, I didn't actually change that sight there. Let me go ahead and just kill myself, just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. I have found that higher, when you're starting to shoot, the muzzle likes to climb, okay? And granted, you can do, like I said, burst fire or something like that. Let's try the 3.5 times. Actually, let's try an ACOG on it. Now, I believe the gun actually does come with that 3.5 times, but I like this little red dot sight that we got going on here. It feels a little bit more, you know, I like a red dot. I like a very clear reticle of where it's going to be. So let's go ahead and see what we can do with this. Granted, still did pretty well, close range. Let's see if we can get into some longer range combat here. See how we're starting to bounce around quite a bit? It starts to jump up a lot. Now, you could counteract that. There's got guys in front of me, behind me. I was kind of trapped there. Sandwich! You could counteract that by maybe aiming down a little bit. I have seen people that will do that, or I've talked to people that will do that. They'll aim down a little bit, and then they'll shoot, and it'll allow them to come up to a headshot. So that's not a bad idea. So let's see if we could try that out a little bit. Now, just to let you guys know, as I said before, I am kind of testing this and reviewing it at the same time. I have used the gun for a little bit, so I made sure that I had all the attachments and give it, you know, its true test, because really with guns, I always recommend that you at least get to the point where you have all of the attachments, because a gun isn't gonna shine until you have the ability to put everything that you want on it. Because somebody's behind me. There we go. See, it shines in that closer quarters. Let's see. Oh, somebody over here. Oh, he got me. Started shooting. Nice H car. Oh, it's actually the other guy that got me. Okay, I was like, H car? It seemed like that guy was a mechanic. Now, let's go ahead. The sight that actually comes with it, real quick, is this 3.5 times sight. So I'll put that on there just to kind of show you what's going on with that. And I'll put nothing on it, just so you can see kind of how it's going to react when you first grab this weapon. This is basically naked. I mean, obviously I could go with the iron sights on it, but it comes with this sight, the 3.5 times, or so you can use that if you want to right out of the box. So this way I can show you what I'm talking about how, see how much climb it has? Now the reason why we're reducing a lot of that climb is actually from that, oh, shit. That was my fault, is actually because of that angled grip. The angled grip is going to reduce that vertical recoil on the initial burst. So it's not going to help us that much if we're, you know, going automatic with it or something like that, but it is going to help us out a bunch with that initial burst. So typically when I use battle rifles, I usually tap with them. Obviously, if somebody's coming around the corner or something like that and gets right in my face, I'm going to go automatic. But at a range of probably past 30 meters or so, you want to go ahead and tap fire with it. Similar to what I said with the Syndicate gun video. If you haven't seen that, I did go through, you know, how to change your controls and things like that to actually get you to that point of tap firing and having a lot more control with your gun. Ooh, almost got all three of them. So granted, with the 3.4 times sight, or 3.5, sorry, it still is quite good. Okay, it's still a really good rifle, but like I said, it's not my favorite of the battle rifles. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to put this laser sight back on it. I'm going to go ahead and put a compensator on it. Now the compensator, I believe, excuse me, is going to reduce that side-to-side recoil, if I remember correctly, and then the muzzle brake is actually what's going to help you with more of your automatic fire. Stubby grip is going to help you with more of an automatic gun, so if you're running around in like closer quarters or something like that, stubby grip is going to be great, but I really like putting the angled grip on our battle rifles because of the fact that, you know, it seems so much better to have an angled grip to reduce, because you're going to get a lot of that vertical recoil. Now, with this gun, it doesn't actually have the ability to put extended mags on it, which isn't necessarily a killer for most battle rifles, but with this one having, you know, a decent cycle rate, it feels like you don't have enough ammo. You're always reloading with it. One of the things that I really like about the Scar H, and that's another gun that I will review for you guys, is that it feels very controllable. When you go to, you know, tap fire with it, it feels like you're just on point. You know, it's so much easier to control, whereas this one, it seems like it wants to get away from you a little bit more. Dang it. See what I'm saying there when you're engaging at that longer range? I mean, granted, there was 3 guys shooting at me, so that made it difficult for me to, you know, obviously engage in all of them at the same time because there's so many, you know, rounds coming at you. But it does want to kind of get away from you, especially if you're going to go like a full automatic on it. Like, see how that, look, you know, we went up in that range there going full automatic. I mean, I probably went up 15 feet with it. And then look at the actual bullet pattern. I mean, you got a shot here, a shot here, a shot there. So it's just all over the place. A shot over there. Maybe if I actually put it on a wall here. There we go. Let's see. Look at that spread. I mean, that's just crazy. Granted, this is with a compensator and not a muzzle brake, so we are kind of getting all over the place. But you can notice that we have mostly vertical recoil. We do have some side to side here. Once I put a different attachment on it, see how I'm kind of tap firing a little bit more? That's what, oh, hold on, wait. Oh, you got me. Nice work. That UMP9 is a good gun as well. I'll do a review on that. Let's see. So at this point, I'm going to try to put a muzzle brake on it. Because we did the compensator. I'm going to put a muzzle brake on it. I'm going to put the stubby grip on it. And I'm going to put the laser sight and the Cobra. And I just want to kind of give it another shot against a wall here. If we can see how much different that... Here, this seems like a good spot here. All right, let's go against the brick. Right here. See how... I mean, I am adjusting a little bit, but it's just so much more... Look at that. See how it reduces... The muzzle brake's going to reduce that side to side. Okay? So if you are going full auto with it, I definitely recommend using that muzzle brake on it. Because it's going to reduce that, you know, cross like you see with that compensator there. Now, the compensator is going to help you a little bit with that. But see how we seem like we're suffering a little bit at the farther range? Sorry I keep kind of switching back and forth, but I want to go ahead and make sure that when we have this right situation for it, I'm explaining something that kind of fits in that situation there. But like I said, you're getting the feel that when I'm at a little bit of a further range, I have to control it that much more to keep it on target. Let's try to go... Oh, that guy's behind his shield there. I don't really feel like screwing around with that. Ooh, that headshot, though. So, my thoughts with this gun, it's good. It's got a high cycle rate. So, really, let's go ahead and see. Okay, somebody got him. It is a good gun. I recommend, personally, putting on the angled grip or the stubby grip. Both seem to be quite good with this gun. The angled grip isn't going to quite help you as much with that, you know, automatic fire, but it is going to help keep it under control a little bit more if you are burst firing with it. The angle, or the heavy barrel seems to work quite well with it. Let's go with the heavy barrel with the stubby grip and see what we got here. Okay, pretty easy to keep that under control. Let's try it without even adjusting here. Now that's not looking through the sights, that's all over the place. Ah, crap, somebody's right there. Now, granted, this isn't probably the best killing going on. I'm still going 18-11, not really bad for screwing around as much as I am. But I want to go ahead and show you guys like all of the different attachments and kind of show, you know, let you get a feel for what gun you know what the gun's going to be like. I did adjust it a little bit. Let me try not adjusting it. Okay, it does seem to get to that point where it sticks on target, and that's about there. But still, you can see. We're pretty much in a nice pattern here, and that's with the heavy barrel, okay? So the muzzle brake is good, but you don't seem to, like, really get as much control as you thought you would versus the muzzle brake. It's still, you're still going straight up with it, and right now we have the stubby on, so that's what I recommend, personally. This is my personal recommendation. Keep with the heavy barrel. Put either a stubby grip on or the angled grip, depending on, you know, how you like to use it. If you like to go a little bit more automatic with it, then obviously you're going to want a stubby grip. If you like to, you know, a little bit more of that control at like a medium range, then I would recommend burst firing with an angled grip. The heavy barrel and the muzzle brake, it doesn't really seem to affect it too much. You can keep it under control pretty well with either attachment on it. Now let me see here. Oh. Come on. Oh, they're all over the place there. Alright. So at this point in the video, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just use the gun a little bit. Not quite talk as much. I mean, obviously I'm going to still talk about like what's going on. And just kind of try to show you guys how powerful, with the recommended attachments that I have, that this gun can be. So let's see what we can do here. Now, this is, like I said, TDM on Chinatown. So with TDM on Chinatown, you can be running into a little bit more of a medium range to long range engagement. But typically, you're going to be at that, you know, pretty close range. I mean, medium to close if you're coming in this area here. Now, with that heavy barrel, I almost recommend going with the angled grip. Like, the angled grip, heavy barrel seems better, and then if you're going with the, you know, more of, you want to shoot it a little bit faster, because this gun does have a pretty good cycle rate or rate of fire, so maybe the muzzle brake and the stubby grip will be a little bit better. And like I said, as far as that middle attachment, there's no other thing you could do. I mean, you could put the canted red dot sights on, maybe if you wanted to roll with a 3.4 times sight and then have the canted on, so you could kind of roll it over. And as far as the AP tracer rounds, as you can see right there, it's going to reduce that control. And really, the AP tracer rounds, all they're going to help you with is going against the armored insert, and then they're also going to help you go against maybe some vehicles or things like that. So honestly, I don't really think that the AP tracer rounds are going to help you that much, especially in TDM. I mean, if you are running into a lot of mechanics, yeah, but as far as the control goes, I don't think it's that worth it. I really don't. So I'd recommend keeping that laser sight on. You can turn it off if you're in more of a night map or something like that, but those are my recommendations for this gun. I haven't tried it with a suppressor yet. That's going to decrease our range significantly. But if you are on a smaller map, like I said, maybe you might want to try that. Let's just try this suppressor, and then I'll go stubby, since I'm going to be trying to go. Look at that thing. That suppressor was huge. And let's see what happens against this wall here. Okay, kept it pretty, you know, pretty close. I mean, this gun doesn't have that bad of control once you start putting some attachments on it. But that suppressor, what that's going to do is that's going to reduce your range significantly. And when I say reduce your range, obviously you're still going to be able to hit them, but you're going to have to aim higher, and your bullets aren't going to do as much damage. So that's really what your suppressor is going to kind of reduce there. Yeah, still able to control it. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. That is my review of the the SA58 OSW here. It does come with that 3.5 times sight, so if you are, you know, you like some longer engagements, feel free to use that. Some people really like that sight, but personally, this is my recommendation here. A heavy barrel, the muzzle brake with the stubby grip, and then the heavy barrel with the angled grip is more of my speed. This is something that I would see, you know, running with it, you know, because I like to have that more consistent in between. The SA58 OSW isn't really that great at range. You can still use it, you know, as long as you're burst firing and doing stuff like that, but it is not my ideal battle rifle for range or even really close quarters. There's a bunch better battle rifles out there, and I will go through some of those here, but if I was to pick between any of these weapons here on the police side, or I'm sorry, the criminal side, which is what I'm on now, I actually prefer the HK51 much more than I like the SCAR, and then obviously the FAL, which most people know is a very, very powerful gun. Some people will borderline on OP, and I will go through a review and test on that as well. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, thoughts, maybe hit me down in the comment section below and let me know what you guys like to run with this SA58 OSW. That's a long name, isn't it? You know, tell me, you know, what your preferred thing. I do see a lot of people use it. I'm not saying it's garbage by any means, but it's not necessarily my preferred battle rifle for the way that I play. So let me know down in the comment section maybe some other reviews you might like to see, or how you use this gun if you have used it. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video. Please don't cry too here. I'm here with you. I'm here for you. Have a good one. I hope to see you on the battlefield, guys.